A Royal Problem is a very great episode we've seen from Season 7 so far. This episode starts with Starlight Glimmer and Twilight Sparkle doing some spells, and then the spell that Starlight did was to actually take the cutie mark off of Twilight. I'm not making this up. This is actually real. She gets better and better and better. And then they have to go to Canterlot because Princess Luna and Princess Celestia aren't getting along because of what Princess Luna is going through. She has to do most of the work that she loves, and as for Princess Celestia, she is getting really furious and annoyed by Princess Luna because of the jobs they have at Canterlot. And then when things get even more worse, Starlight Glimmer uses a spell accidentally and intentionally. Why? Because she wants to help them, but apparently it just gets even more worse. And you pretty much know what the rest of this episode is going to be like. These two ponies, or princesses, are doing the other princesses' jobs. The role reversal, basically. I would call this illegal against the princesses' rules, but the fact that these two princesses are sisters, maybe they kind of need to understand what the other princess's life is. Anyway, let's continue with the story. Obviously, Princess Luna is not happy with the job that she has. She pretty much knows how rough Princess Celestia's job is. She made a lot of mistakes and things just get even more worse. And as for Princess Celestia, she kind of liked her job as being Princess Luna. However, she keeps talking to herself and how she misses Princess Luna. Yep, you pretty much know what's going to happen next, but we have 9 more minutes left. And guess what the greatest part in this episode is? Since that she has a job to check into Pony's dreams, she goes to Starlight Glimmer's dream, and her dream is just... all I can say is that there's going to be more fan art and fanfics about. But we'll get into that soon. Anyway, Princess Celestia decides to help, but then she sees Midnight Moon. And that's not all. In Starlight's dream, we get to see evil Princess Celestia. Or should we say, Daybreaker. Yes, this is actually the evil version of Princess Celestia. And I will admit, even if this is kind of similar to Midnight Moon, this is just a great character change. I'm not kidding. People really want to know what the evil Princess Celestia is, and then we get to see that in this episode. And not only that, the relationship between Princess Celestia and Princess Luna just gotten way better because of this. But I'll explain about that later. Let's finish the story. Meanwhile, Princess Luna cannot take the stress of being Princess Celestia anymore. So she has to find Princess Celestia and Starlight Glimmer. With more heartwarming scenes that it just never gets old in the show. They try to stop the fight as long as possible in order to get Starlight Glimmer to wake up. And they succeed, which means that Starlight Glimmer managed to get both of their cutie marks back to the way they were. And as for Twilight, she saw everything and heard of everything. Well, not really heard everything, but wants to know everything that happened. I'll get to Twilight later. Anyway, that's how the episode ends. This episode is another Starlight Glimmer episode, and as for Twilight, she's a minor character in this. Again, I'll get to her later. And I will admit, the plot is very unique, especially that we get to see Princess Luna and Princess Celestia again. Apparently, the issue is that both of their jobs as princesses are completely different. Princess Luna just going to people's dreams, and as for Celestia, obviously doing princess work all the time. I would call this predictable, but I've seen a lot of princesses, so I really got nothing else to say except it's a princess life, basically. I would call this predictable because the two Alcorns are princesses, but they're also sisters. Sisters just usually go through situations all the time. Same with brothers. And the fact that these two characters aren't getting along because of the jobs they have and how grumpy Princess Luna is when it comes to Princess Celestia's life, I think it's really understandable that Princess Luna is so grumpy and so mad at Princess Celestia all the time. by hanging out with the other ponies, and that she thinks that her princess life is better than hers. But when she finally sees everything that what Princess Celestia does, I think we pretty much all agree that Princess's life is just sad. Really, really sad. Even if what Princess Luna thinks that what Princess Celestia did was something that is just better than hers, she finally realized that her job is much harder than hers. The fact that Princess Luna is completely sad and really depressed and exhausted for everything that she did today, it just really makes her the realization that she should take back her old princess's duties. But as for Princess Celestia, it's just cocky in this episode because of how simple her princess's duties are. Seriously, every time that she's so happily and so confident of what she does, you pretty much know that her life is just so simple. I swear. If she had Princess Luna's role in the show, she will probably appear a lot of episodes than Princess Luna being in a couple or a few. But then again, those different kinds of princesses who do different things. And Princess Luna just go through dreams, and as for Celestia, again and again and again. As for Starlight's dream, it's very impressive. Really, I'm not making this up. The fact that Princess Luna and Celestia has to work together in order to stop not only Nightmare Moon, but an evil version of Celestia is just amazing. Seriously, I bet when people are releasing clips of this episode, it's probably gonna have 10 million views. Just by looking at Daybreaker. I swear, every time I see this, there's gonna be a lot of views on videos, and there's gonna be a lot of fan art and fanfics about this. Man, My Little Pony is probably never gonna go away. Well, for everyone else's point of view, but in my point of view, you're gonna have to find out in the next video project that I'm going to do. And you pretty much know what that is. Starlight Glimmer's role in this episode is just basically like Princess Twilight, except that she's basically the third Princess Celestia, or how many genders of princesses in the Equestria that this show has. I just got nothing else to say is that Starlight Glimmer is basically the next Twilight Sparkle. Okay, I should finally get to Princess Twilight. In this episode, she's maxed out basically, but the issue with that is that she just isn't feel the same like she was. Yes, she's a princess, and princesses go through so many changes. But seeing her minorly in this episode is just depressing. And not only that, Season 7 has seen less and less of Twilight Sparkle. I mean, I know we have other characters, but since that Twilight Sparkle is a main character and part of the main 6, she should get more screen time. And what she's been doing throughout this entire episode is just using her spells to become smart and do cute things. You know, I understand that Twilight has changed over the past seasons. But looking at her now, she's now like her best friends in one of the earlier episodes. And well, yes, that's how characters kind of learn their lessons about friendship, but literally, it's basically her just trying to give Starlight Glimmer some advice and some hints on to help Princess Celestia and Princess Luna. And not only that, she doesn't even appear in Starlight's dream. Yes, I know, they can't. But in the episode that I revealed, which is another Princess Luna episode, they managed to do that, so I don't understand why she's away from them. In fact, she's just pretty much useless now. I'm sorry, but the fact that we barely see her in Season 7, and the fact that she doesn't have any more character development anymore, it's just very depressing. It really is. And trust me, in Magical Movie Night, I'm going to explain a lot of things on why Twilight should return. I watched all 3 specials, so you might understand what my full opinions on them and why Princess Twilight should come back. Because by the looks of it, You pretty much are not gonna like me what I'm gonna say about Magical Movie Night. Anyway, is this episode great? Yes. A very great episode between two princesses who are just trying to understand what the other princess's life is. And you know what? It really shows me that princesses are just more different than they were. Like, Princess Celestia just does the predictable work, while Princess Luna obviously does the dream work. Yes, I know in reality, you can only use one thing as a princess, but the fact that princesses are completely fancy, we get to see what the other princesses can do. I know we see that in the beginning of the series, but the fact that we see these two characters doing the role of Varso is actually kind of cool. And great character development. People love the relationship between Princess Celestia and Yuna, and how people really love Princess Luna. Seriously, the facial expressions that she did in this episode, people are never going to stop showing them online and stop talking about it. Because that's what makes Princess Luna a very great character by so many people. Anyway, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. Anyway, there's one more video project I have left before my summer vacation. And you guys pretty much know what that is. I'll see you sooner or later.